Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today I'm going to take a look at the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. Retails for $12.99 for 0.68 ounces of product, 20 mils, and claims to be a perfected glow look that primes, conceals, highlights, and evens skin tone with light coverage. Self-adjusting shades that blend into skin tone. 5 different shades available. I've got the second lightest shade, Light, which looks quite dark in the bottle. The lightest shade, Fair Light, looked to be a little bit too light for me and yellow undertoned, and I prefer neutral to cool, so I went with this one. I do have a little self-tanner on, so maybe that'll help. This is supposed to have primer, concealer, highlighter, skin tone, evening, sponge applicator, yuck, don't like, but I get that they're trying to follow the very mega popular Instant Age Rewind concealer format in this bottle. And self-adjusting shades. Looks like it is a silicone-based product. It's got some shea butter in here. I don't see any added fragrance in the ingredient list. So the one thing, so this is a new product, but it's already got 1,000 reviews on Ulta's website with 4 out of 5 stars. And I was confused because I'm like, I thought it was new. How did it get so many reviews? Well, apparently people are saying that it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This isn't really a foundation, which makes me confused at the comparison, but I did swatch them both on my hand. And here is the Maybelline, and here is the Charlotte Tilbury. And as I reflect back in the light, you can see that the Charlotte Tilbury has like a sheen to it. The Hollywood Flawless Filter is kind of like something I use after I've applied a BB cream or a foundation. I usually do it for light coverage, but I only apply it to my cheek area. Sometimes I'll put a little on my forehead. It's almost like highlighter, but also gives you some smoothing of pores and smoothing of texture, things like that. So it's a little bit of a blurring effect, but it's kind of more of a highlighter. I would not put this on my whole entire face. Like, I wouldn't want my chin to glow, you know. And from the swatches, I don't think the Maybelline has that same kind of sheen to it. So the comparison really confuses me, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Let's take a look at shade 1 Light, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Maybelline, the Instant Age Rewind Perfector in shade 01 Light. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. Fourth up, I've got from Maybelline the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth in 115 Ivory. And last, I've got the beloved CYO Life Proof in 101. I already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 46-year-old face. I will go in on one side with my fingertips and a brush on the other side. This is my Sigma F80, just to see if there is a difference in how it applies. I have not primed my skin because it claims to have a primer built into it. So the instructions when you remove the label say to turn the red collar of the packaging. There is no red collar on my packaging. My collar is pink. And so if you're having trouble figuring out how to turn the thing, it's actually the entire top part twists so that you can twist the product up. I'm guessing this is similar to the concealer where you can pull that foamy sponge off and still use it. I've done that on my previous concealers and I don't like that either, so I do leave the sponge on, even though I'm not a fan of just having it sit there dirty. Not a fan, but let's try and see what we get with a fingertip application. It's not as dark as it looks in the packaging, which is good because I was thinking this was definitely going to be too dark for me. I'm seeing right off the bat that this is not really a coverage product. I would not even call this light coverage. Maybe this is where the comparisons to the Charlotte Tilbury are coming in. Wow, this is some glowy stuff right here. Didn't look glowy in the swatch, but I'm feeling like it's increasing my sheen on this side of my face versus the side that does not yet have anything applied. I don't know if there's any coverage though. Let's try the brush side and maybe a little more product. Let's go ham over here. I put it on thick, you guys. She thick. I don't smell any scent. I didn't see any fragrance ingredients, but sometimes products still have a scent to them. I don't really smell anything. So that is good. Applied with the brush, it is sitting on top of the skin. Like really sitting on, like I can just see product. We're gonna say no go on the brush because I really don't like that. It's clinging to edges of skin that I don't think I really even have. I'm not really flaking right now. Let's just go in with fingertips and I'm just gonna apply more because I need a little bit of coverage, you guys. It's a very smooth and slippy feeling texture, which feels nice. It's comfortable to apply. It's like a soothing feeling to it. Very thin consistency, feels lightweight. Yeah, all of the clinging went away with fingertip application. So I would say definitely apply with fingertips. This one did not like the brush. I'm not really seeing any coverage though. Let's hope this dries down a little bit because that slippy feeling is kind of hanging on and I don't feel like I'd be able to apply powder products over this if this slippy feeling remains. This is some glowy stuff. Let's zoom in and take a look at this one. I have a little tiny bit of peeling on my upper lip and the product is clinging just a little bit to those areas. On my nose, I'm getting like a little bit of polka dot pores. I can kind of tap or rub them out, but I'm kind of just rubbing the product away in those spots. So I wouldn't say that's really a solution because that's leaving a blank spot on my face. My pores are visible because of the luminosity of the reflect that we're getting from the glow. And if we're going to compare this to the Charlotte Tilbury, the difference I think is that in the formula of the Charlotte Tilbury, it's doing some pore blurring via its ingredients. So this does not seem to have any pore blurring ingredients in it, and therefore the luminosity is making my pores more visible. I think it's doing kind of the same thing on texture. It's not really smoothing any of it. I see all of my texture on the textured side of my face. I'm not really getting any coverage. I see all my sunspots. I see my blood vessel running through my under eye. If I look at my forehead, it's kind of accentuating the micro wrinkles again because of the luminosity that we're getting. The glow is accentuating those things. And it's not that you can't have a glowy finish on textured or wrinkled skin. It's that if you are going to have a product that gives you a glowy finish, it's got to have enough ingredients to kind of blur over, you know, give you a physical blur via its texture and its ingredients so that the glow does not accentuate the crevices, wrinkles, lines, texture, bumps, etc. on your skin. And so I feel like this doesn't have those ingredients, so it's not doing any smoothing before it gives me the glow. So the glow is kind of accentuating all the things that I try to hide. The reason I go through the extra step of putting a complexion product on, I want to smooth my texture, I want to blur my pores, I want to cover up the unevenness in my skin tone, I want to hide my sunspots and my sun damage. So while this is super glowy, and I guess, you know, glow is in the name somewhere, glow makeup, it's that, but I don't know about this Perfector part because it's accentuating all the things. Let's give this a few minutes. We'll see if it's gonna dry down at all. I'm gonna need it to set down, otherwise I'm gonna have to go in with powder. And the upside of that, you know, maybe it'll just be a good base for powder foundation. We'll find out. That's not really what I would wear something like this for, to cover it up, but time check, it's 2:18. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. We are back with the Maybelline Perfector. I want to show you something because these swatches have had a chance to dry down completely. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to pick up on camera, but can you see how the Maybelline one, you can still see the fine lines in the skin of the back of my hand? And in the Charlotte Tilbury one, those fine lines are not visible. Now I'm holding a fist, so you know my hand is as stretched out as it can be, and you can still see all of the lines of my skin in the Maybelline one, and in the Charlotte Tilbury, they're smoothed out. That's what I'm talking about in terms of the ingredients providing some smoothing to the product. This Maybelline does not do that, at least not on me. Let's talk about what's happening here. So in my crevices of melancholy, like my frown lines, I have RBF constantly. It's just, so I got frown lines. RBF is supposed to keep you pretty though. It keeps moving and settling into these lines. It's not lines exactly. I have like a little wrinkle forming in both spots, like a crevice, literally a crevice. And the product is bunching up there. It is bunching up in this smile line, not in this one, for whatever reason, but this side it is. I've been tapping it out. I've been trying to get the product to stop moving around. I am getting some polka dot pores in these pores, you know, the most visible ones on the side of my nose here. It's not performing well. Now, I did not set this with powder because I decided to go the route of using liquid cream putty products. So I used the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. I really love these. I'm actually loving the heck out of them. It still wasn't drying down enough. I was getting a little bit of pilling when I was applying the Putty Bronzers. The Maybelline was pilling behind it, so I put on a little bit of powder bronzer. This is the Beauty Pie Quantum Bronzer to hopefully set that in place. My blush is the color changing blush oil from Youthforia. Also loving it. So that is what I did with my complexion. Not super pleased with how the Maybelline is performing underneath these products. I think it moves around. I don't think it sets down. Let's just stop talking about that. On my eyes, Alter Ego Shadow Kiss. This is a Natasha Denona Glam Palette dupe. I'm also wearing the Wayne Goss mascara, which I think is a beautiful mascara, but it's waterproof. And it's really hard to wash off, as all waterproof mascaras are on me, which is why I don't wear them. So I have a feeling this is not going to be my favorite unless I'm specifically, you know, going out to the beach, going swimming, going out boating, going somewhere where I know it's going to be raining and I'm going to, whatever. I don't like waterproof mascaras, you guys, until I can find a way to remove them without tugging so much at my eyes. But it's beautiful. It makes my lashes look really nice. My lip is the Youthforia lip oil, and I will have all these things linked down below as per usual. Not a big fan of this so far. I'm gonna continue wearing it. You know, I don't think it's a complete fail at this point. It's wearable. I think it's made for people that are much younger, which is funny because it's called Age Rewind, which implies that you want to appear younger than you currently are. And, you know, a 20-year-old putting this on, what, do you want to look 12? I don't know. I don't know what they're going for here, but I'm pretty sure this is not the intended performance. Anyway, I don't think this is a dupe in any way, shape, or form for the Hollywood Flawless Filter. Flawless Filter implies that there's some improvement to your flaws, like you're filtering them so you no longer see them, and I don't think the Age Rewind is doing that. But gonna wear this. I will come back in a bit with a daylight check-in, even though there's really no shade to check because there's no coverage, and then I'll come back tonight and give you my final thoughts. Hey guys, it's about 5:20 right now. I have no recollection as to what time we actually started this, so I think it's been about 4 hours maybe. I gotta look in the mirror. I have a little bit of product settling into my chin line there. I have a little bump over here where product was kind of gathering around it. Otherwise, can't really see very much except that I feel like I look plastic. Is that crazy? I don't know. That's what I feel like. You can judge for yourself. See how it kind of froze my forehead lines into place? It's not much to see for color because I don't think there's any coverage whatsoever. So shade-wise, I don't think it has a shade. So there you go. That's half the day in. I'll be back tonight. I'm sure you can already tell what I think. Addition, still not done. Still not done. In fact, nothing has changed since last time you saw it. At least I'm in the room now. At least we are in our proper places. I'm just gonna be happy about that. So I'll see you guys tonight. 11:39 p.m. Let's take a look at how the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind 4-in-1 Perfector held up. I think it's just kind of gone. I don't really see it anymore. I think it disappeared. Well, I will say, I almost went to bed without filming this outro, so that means it's not drying. In fact, I would say it's probably a little hydrating. It feels good. Super lightweight and comfortable, because I forgot I was wearing it all together. That's probably where the upside ends. I think if you have maturing skin, there are so many negatives. It doesn't blur pores. It doesn't blur texture. In fact, it emphasizes them. It doesn't smooth fine lines. Same thing. Some emphasis go. We don't want to emphasize these things. So even if you can wear it with dry skin, then comes the issue of the finish. I think it looked fake and plasticky. That is just my subjective opinion. If you think it's beautiful, I'm happy for you, because maybe this will actually work for you. It's not going to work for me. But the thing with the finish is that even if you liked it, I think it's gone by now. Like, I don't think it's the same finish as it was earlier. When I look at it up close, now I don't even see the plasticky look, except for this weird pore area. But what I see is my skin with leftover bronzer and blush, you know? So I'm not sure if anyone in my viewing audience is going to enjoy this product. Let's zoom in and take a look. One of the issues here is I think it might have given me a little breakout. I have a little whitehead going on, so that's not a good sign, because I'm actually not super sensitive and I really don't break out very often. But as you see, pretty much all signs of coverage have vanished. I don't really see any product anywhere except a couple little spots in a couple different places where maybe there's product kind of built up, but yeah, it's just mostly gone. I just don't see a whole lot of reason to wear this. If we go back to the comparison between the Flawless Filter and this, it doesn't have the same look to it, so I don't even think I would use it the way I use this, you know, with highlight area, pore area, maybe my forehead. I don't think I would use it for that, because it's not the same consistency, it's not the same sheen, it's not the same blurring properties. If I had to give a grade to the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind 4-in-1 Perfector, I'm actually terribly sad to fail this, but I don't think it's for us, you guys. Which is ironic, because it's called the Instant Age Rewind. And I always thought that that was targeted to the 30 plus, 40 plus crowd. I don't know that for certain, but I always assumed it was, because how far can you really rewind your age if you're 20? I mean, I guess you could. I'm going to stop this train of thought before it goes off the rails. It's already off the rails. If I had to give a grade, I have to fail it. I don't think it's going to work for us. It's just, I hope it works for you better than it works for me. I always hope that when I don't have good luck with a product. But that's what we're going to go with on this one. I don't think it's a Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I don't even think it's similar. And I don't really like it as a foundation. So, bummer of a foundation day, but that's okay. There's always another foundation we can try tomorrow. So, another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, if you want me to keep making them, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.